My 26F dream guy, 30 meters, is bound for an arranged marriage. About a month ago, I met this amazing guy on Hinge. He's an experienced attorney with an Ivy League background. He plays both the saxophone and drums in 2 separate bands and has a tantalizing British accent. I am in my last year of law school myself, so we quickly connected on the shared challenges of the legal field. Don't be a lawyer. After some chatting, he calls and asks me on a date and I say yes. The call itself was great. It was lighthearted and fun, and I started to get really excited about meeting him. Later that week, he picks me up for our first date and we go to dinner. We have all types of conversations, from playful banter to strongly held values. I immediately feel comfortable with him. It was like reuniting with a long-lost friend. Dinner goes so well that we decide to go to a wine, chocolate jazz bar, and we sit in the back just talking and laughing until we realize we are the last people in the place. We go back to my place and watch some NPR Tiny Desk over some wine. And before long, we end up having some mind-blowing sex. I'm talking sweaty and panting after multiple orgasms sex. Last week, I was at a social event and decided to reach out to see if he was available to hang out. He invited me for drinks or to come over to watch this D&D show we had previously discussed. I picked the latter. I show up to his place, which turns out to be a beautiful lake house, and when I come inside he hands me pajamas to get comfy in, and asks if I'd like anything to drink. I won't go into too much more detail, but we had a great night together and I slept over. Okay, so he went out of town for Easter and just got back yesterday. I texted him to see how everything went and he calls me. We again have a great conversation until he informs me he wants to talk to me about something serious. Well, that serious thing ends up being that he was actually on a date this past weekend with a girl. A girl that his parents are setting him up with for purposes of an arranged marriage. He tells me he has big decisions to make, but he really likes me, so wanted to be upfront about the situation. I'm moving at the end of next month myself, so it was already going to be difficult for us. Given the situation, he says we can either 1. Just be friends. 2. Continue to see each other romantically until I move or this arranged marriage thing gets serious. Or 3. Stop seeing each other altogether. He also mentioned that if we continue romantically, he knows he's really going to really like me and it might be painful to part ways. I suppose my question is, should I continue to see him until I leave? We have such an amazing connection and being around him is like a breath of fresh air. Or should I spare both of us the inevitable heartbreak and call it off? Sounds like this relationship has an expiration date. He obviously doesn't have any intentions of stopping the arranged marriage. Besides, it's only been a month. Honestly, it sounds like you're putting this guy on a pedestal, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're not the only girl he's saying this to. Dude didn't just find out he was getting an arranged marriage. Come on now, op. Leave. It's 1 month old and this whole thing reeks of idealized fantasy. In all reality, you're probably just one of a few pit stops he's taking before the arranged marriage. If you don't want your heart broken, walk away now. No, sorry. I come from a culture with this kind of setup. This is something he probably does all the time with the knowledge that he will one day have to get married to someone his parents choose. Get on with your life. Seems like if he chooses the arranged marriage, then he should be faithful to his chosen spouse. Right? Ceremony or not. Would you really want a guy who's engaged sleeping around with you? I mean this as kindly as possible. Your dream guy would not be engaged to another woman. And that one is engaged. None of the options he recommended included him breaking off his engagement. You are calling it an arranged marriage because it makes you feel better about him cheating on his fiancée with you. But as a 30-year-old, financially independent person, it's an arrangement he made. I bet his fiancée expects him to be faithful now. You should expect better for yourself. And I am not talking lake houses and nice dinners. So he's a successful grown adult. Has a good job, a house, and you both mesh well personality-wise. It seems like he has it together and doesn't depend on his parents. Going on a date for an arranged marriage, it's something he was interested in doing, so he did it. Do you like this type of situation? He told you all the options. In every one you part ways. Why would you do that to yourself? He doesn't sound as nice as you describe him either. He's basically putting you on a side piece role until he decides he's serious enough with his future wife. Who is that selfish to play around with everyone's time like that? Can't help but notice the things you use to describe him are external to his value as an actual person. Is he your dream guy because he's smart, funny, down to earth, etc., or any other personal qualities that you really admire and connect with? Or is he just an Ivy League lawyer whose company you enjoy? Girl, we are not a Korean drama where crazy rich families decides who their children will marry. And the dude chose the normal girl. There's no way that he suddenly learns that he needs to be married. Either it's a lie, where he can have sex with you on the side while looking for a more suitable partner for commitment, like this new girl, or it's real, and was on Hinge looking for sex even if he knew his parents would try to set him with someone of their choosing. And you're not the first girl he does that to. Or maybe she's already his real fiancée? That would make him a huge D. Anyway, in all cases you are on the losing side. You are setting yourself to be the side chick if you continue with this man. And to be honest, all this sounds shady AF. Break things off like yesterday. You know him since 1 month only. Don't let the sex and money and social status and lake house embezzle you. He told you already that you are not marriage material. Even if he claims that it's gonna be painful to part way. He just wants to have the cake and eat it too. It's gonna be painful for him to leave a girl who he can have easy sex without committing. But honestly, he probably don't care. There is a stink here. It's either his, hers. Either dude is using this app to hook up with people and breaking up with them using marriage as excuse. Or he knew he was about to get married soon but wanted to try something out before being hitched. 'Cause arranged marriages don't happen out of blue, especially for wealthy people. Or her asking people advice in here about this situation despite the red flags. Obviously leave. Dude might not be good as you think. Giving you choice and wanting to continue relation despite getting married to someone ya don't think so. He is playing games here, to put it bluntly. OR. This entire thing is just another made-up story on Reddit as usual. This is all a very roundabout way to set you up as a side piece. Get out of there. There's plenty of guys out there who aren't literally engaged to marry someone else. End things. It's not fair to the person he's seeing with the intention of marriage for him to be hooking up with you on the side. Additionally, do you really want to be hooking up with a person who thinks this type of behavior is okay? It would be a different story if he was just dating you and just dating her and both women knew things were casual. But that's not the case here. You seem great. I'm sure you'll meet plenty of other great men down the line who aren't keeping you a secret from a woman they're seeing seriously. If he knows he's getting arranged married, then why is he seeking out women on Hinge in the first place? Isn't Hinge the app people use to find a long-term relationship? He's not the good guy you think he is. I find his intentions extremely shady and I think you're getting played. I wouldn't be surprised if he said the exact same thing to multiple other women and is only using the arranged marriage as a cop-out to avoid commitment. He's trying to bang you while he waits for this arranged marriage thing to unfold. You're a side piece. End it. This is a script for a show. Surely. Dream guy? 1 month. Immediate sex. Another round. And then he remembers to tell you about this sudden arranged marriage? Girl. You've been played. Move on with your life. He's probably a scammer who gets laid by doing such things so as not to encourage women to get attached to him. So he knew about the arranged marriage prior to hooking up with you in the first place. So, someone who has another obligation, commitment, went ahead and basically, sort of, cheated. Why would you put up with this at all? You went out twice. How is this even a question? Hormones are clouding your judgment. Leave. This guy is textbook manipulator. He comes off as this really suave, put-together guy, swoons you and then before he lets you down, he acts like a victim to his parents' decisions and essentially asks you to be a side piece. You're confused because you like him. Already had sex and he says all the right things to make you think he likes you so much. Like when he starts off with, I know I'm really going to like you and it'll be painful to part. No, he doesn't really believe that. He just knows how to manipulate women when trying to set them up for what he wants. It's all word games. He wants to marry that woman after one meeting. Or so he claims. And he just wanted to have sex with you. You also seem thankful he's being honest about this. Which is some bullshit. A nice guy wouldn't be doing any of this. Word of advice I've learned from dating douches. Don't believe guys when they use sweet words and say how much they like you. Believe and watch their actions. How do they treat and respect you? All men say sweet nothings. They mean nothing. He doesn't want to make you anything more than a side piece and is an asshole. Lose him. This all sounds so perfect. Ideal guy. Successful op. Watching NPR before having mind-blowing sex. Wow. Just the best. If this is real, which seems like a long shot, why is this perfect 30-year-old man still single? And why is it only now that he's 30 and sounds like every woman's dream that his parents are suddenly arranging his marriage? I have a feeling you aren't the first or only person he's doing this with. Leave before you get hurt. This already sounds like an absolute minefield. I'd be running for the hills. For all you know, this could be absolute horseshit and just an easy way for him to get out of committing to people he's slept with. You're not the first he's done this with. And if you say no, then you won't be the last. If he didn't want the marriage, he would have just said no. But instead, he is stringing you along with the "I haven't decided" ploy. He's going to get married. Don't waste your time.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.